Hey guys, it's Dave and welcome to the Weird Kid Show. It's awesome having you here today. I really, really and sincerely appreciate it. So we're here for part 3 of the Cursed book build, okay? When I start to build something and it starts to go through this creative process, things occur to me, or I'll see something, I'll do something, and then a thought will come to mind, and then I'll change directions and everything else. But I thought, man, wouldn't it be cool to finish this, to build this thing per the most favored suggestions that are down in the comments. For example, now this is some of the comments in the Cursed book build part 2. If you can look down in the comments, you can find these. Steve Catronio, Grimwood Hollow, thank you, nice. But let's see, let's get down here. So Frady Zone said, as for a paint scheme, black for the color scheme would look cool, especially if you use the purple light that you tried out. So that's a good suggestion. And I initially thought about black when I started this. Thank you, Art Lady, Edie. Now, Keith from Cobwebs and Candlestick says, it's coming along, nice choice on the eyes. Loving the light upgrade, but I think he could use some horns. Alright, so there is a suggestion, guys. Do you think he should have some horns? Let's get some interaction, some feedback going here, and let's, I'll work to your specifications, okay? And we'll create this thing together, okay? Let's see, Whips, Prost, Monster, hey, thank Vic. Okay, so Rob Dab says colors black and green with the purple lights and maybe some red here and there. Horns and evil, long goatee. So there's another one, and that's 2 for horns and 1 for a goatee. Now, I actually like that because if you recall, one of my envisions was to have some, like, I want to say black flowing hair that's seeping out like this creepy creature or demon is coming out of this book into the real world. And so I thought about some black, like greasy, wet looking greasy hair, and I could see a goatee on this thing. So what do you guys think? I'm hoping you're voting for that, because I just so happen to have some wig material here that's all caught up on the battery from another project. And this here would be enough. I'm going to use some clear silicone. I'll cut it up and then layer it, and I can show you that, which I can't take credit for that because the way that I do the silicone and hair process is the exact same way that Ed Edmonds from Distortions Unlimited does it, because I learned it from him on Monster Lab. So shout out to you, Ed. Thank you for that, and that is my go-to now. I do exactly the way he does it. I'm going to show you how that, maybe we'll get some eyebrows, some bushy eyebrows, whatever. Just tell me, guys. Let's build this thing together, okay? Now, I thought about, I initially thought about having these like lizard, like snaky looking things, like we're going to bend them up like John Carpenter, the Thing style, put it in some kind of a crazy stance with its mouth open. Maybe we can open up even more, you know. And now I'm thinking maybe they could be coming out from his hair. Maybe it's not even part of him. Maybe it's something that's coming out with him. You know, who knows? There might be something bigger attached to these, or these could be these little, or they could reveal a bigger body with some wings. Who knows what these things are? Little demonettes, we'll call them, the minions. All right, so I'm going to table that for this because I would really like some feedback on that, guys. All right, so let's get into this thing. Thank you for being here. Check this out. All right, guys, so what we're going to need to do is, basically this is going to be like the most time-consuming part of this build, okay? And that's to just fill in the rest of this. I want to cover all this foam. I want to go up around the boils that we put here. If you remember, I just used an existing prosthetic that I bought from Spirit Halloween on clearance. The same thing with the mouth. So, like I said, I like to repurpose things. Okay, give me some latex here. I don't want to put too much. If I run out, I can always go back for more. But if I take too much, then it's not always good to put it back because it's been exposed to the air. So, anyways, that's where we're at. Same thing. Blue shop towels, latex, and some brushes. I buy a bunch of brushes, the packaged cheap ones, because this is a messy process. I know people make effort to clean them brushes, but I have a hell of a time when that latex starts to coagulate. You get these little gummy, this rubber is what you're getting, and it's not always easy to get it out. So I go through a lot of brushes when I do stuff like this. You may choose to go the cleaning route, but me, I work like a feverish mad scientist, and that's true. I'm a lot like Keith. I hate waiting. I'm impatient, and when I got an idea and I want to run with it, I want to, clear the way. Let me loose. Tools may fly. I usually end up with a very large mess at the end that I have to clean up. But that's how I like to build, and I like to get it out while it's there. All right, guys. So here we are. I've got some blemishes and stuff here. Like, I don't know if you can see, like, where there's some air bubbles from the foam. I got some here in the nose, big one here in the eye cavity, which I'm thinking of maybe leaving that an empty cavity instead of instead of having the lizards coming out of there. I might define that like an empty socket. I'm gonna do some latex and like skin around it, but it's gonna be like tattered and torn, like it's an empty eye socket. And then we can do some like gore in there, maybe have some maggots or worms, who knows. So that's something else you can tell me too, if you think something like that would be cool to have, like some maggots or some worms or something like that, who knows. Anyways, we're gonna run with this thing and just see where it leads us. So paper towel, and as I said before, put some latex on there. I'm going to go ahead and start doing some of this nose. There. I might define the brows a little bit, and I'll do that with some latex and cotton. Go back over this stuff here. Big piece. I'm going to expand it. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to hammer on this and just blast it out, and then we're going to come back, and if I have to do anything unique, then we'll talk about that specifically. So alright guys, and basically I just repeated the whole process of tearing up pieces of blue shop towels, laying down some latex, putting it on, and then latexing over the top of it. And then, like I said, this stuff is awesome. It's a permanent skin now. It's basically one piece fused together. Alright, and so when I did a little latex in there, and then I put some latex up around here, we could turn this into a wound with these little festering bubbles. Maybe we could make them yellow or something like that. Now, Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks suggested horns, and Rob suggested horns. I think that's enough to go with horns, okay? Because I kind of like that idea myself. Now, I could make the horns. I could make the horns out of polymer clay, bake them, mold them if you want, so you can have extra copies for use later on. You could make the horns out of pool noodles, cut them up, and then bevel and create the horn shape that you want. Put your armature wire in it, and you can bend it in the direction you want the horn to go. And then what I do is I take a string and I'll wrap it around it and create indentations in it, like gives it some kind of texture, and then I'll go over it with the latex and shop towels, and that ties it all in and secures it. But I'm not going to do either of those. What I am going to do, if you guys watch the Grimwood Hollow unboxing. Steve Catronio was awesome. He sent me an amazing package, and it had a plethora of amazing stuff that I love. Okay, and one of the things he sent me was this bag of resin cast goodies. Okay, and I don't want to use. I know he would approve of it, but I really don't want to use. I'm reluctant to use some of the stuff like these jaws and stuff because this guy created it, and then he casted it and everything. It's his design. So to me, it's a piece of my body, a keepsake, if you will. So what I did find, though, inside this bag of goodies were these two little horns, okay, that he had cast in resin. And so one's black, one's white. It doesn't matter because we can paint them. I think I'm going to go ahead and use these small horns and attach them here and here. Alright, and I can just glue them on there. Of course I'm going to center it. I'm going to glue them on there, but we're going to tie it in around them with more shop towels and latex. Okay? So that we're going to do. We're set on the horns. I'm going to use black hair that's coming out and coming out down here. Okay? But I'm going to hold off on this. We have this big empty socket here. And then we still got the suggestion of a goatee. I'm kind of hoping you guys will run with that. You'll want the goatee because I'm kind of wanting to do it. But what I'm going to have you guys vote on and tell me down at the suggestion. You can keep giving me, telling me colors and what else you'd like to see. But what I would like you guys to do, please, is to let me know. Do we create a cavity in here? Like his eye is just plain missing. Do we have our little serpents coming out of his eyes? Of course, it'll all be posed in a menacing manner. Or I can create a oversized eyeball with like maybe some red blood vessels and then the same iris and pupil, but over here a big exaggerated bulging eye. You'll still have some lids, but they'll be high. Tell me what you think. Whatever you guys decide in the comments of this video, part 3 of the Cursed Book build, is what we're going to run with, and we're going to start getting these components put together, and then we're going to paint it, and then I can do the last thing, which is to add the hair. Okay, so let's build this together, guys. Please give me your comments and let me know. Give me your suggestions, what you'd like to see. I think this was fun, and I love to interact with you guys, so bring it on. Give me your best. So, anyways, guys, it's going to be short this week because I want to wait until next week to see what you guys decide on, alright? But if you haven't done so already, go check out my brothers, Keith from Cobwebs and Candlesticks, and Vic Springsteen from Monster Missiles. Together we make the Trio of Terror. We build all year round, guys, so instead of watching the depressing news, come chill with us and get your creep on, if you will. So, but anyways, guys, I appreciate you so much, and until next time, peace.